Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this part of the world. Welcome to Radio W.O.R.K.S World. This is your host, Jossine Abrahams, speaking from London, England. Today is the day. It is a beautiful day here in London, and it's so lovely that I would want to be out there and seeing my ladies. Today is the day where we're going to speak about faith. How do you have faith, and how do you incorporate faith into your life? About faith, I just want to tell you a little story about myself. What I went through is, you have seen in my book, I've gone through a little bit of here and there in life, and my life was never that I thought it would go straight at all. I'm somebody who was abused and used in life. And after the death of my two husbands, as I told you in my book that I was married twice, I suffered a lot of depression, not knowing what to do, not having to understand myself at all, and seeing that I was in the dark. I couldn't think of anything at all to help myself. But I resort to Bible. This is why I have acknowledged my situation and started to believing in whatever I was doing myself, to think that this is the time I need to change for myself to have a better life. I began to understand my problems one by one and praying for my problems one by one to come out of my life so that I change for the better. I was held into that situation for a long time. After I lost my first husband, I thought, oh, well, it happens to everybody else. It's not something that would hold my life at all. Then when I tried to get married again for the second time and lose the other husband again, I felt like this is the end of me. How could it repeat on itself on me? And I thought it was a curse. But then after knowing God and acknowledging my problem and seeing that this is a problem which has really happened, to be honest, life there out in Africa is not as easy as we might take it to be. When you are confronted with death, first time, yes, understandable. Second time, you would be an outcast for so many people, because when they look at you, they're looking at something which is, which is not normal. The minute you get around to other people and try to say anything, they will just walk away. They don't really like you around them because they think, oh, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with this woman. How come she gets married all the time and the husband dies? So you end up being an outcast. People don't really want to associate with you. I've done that. I've gone through it myself. I've gone through friends who disappeared, some people who I've grown up with in a life. And now that they realize that I've gone through this, they don't want to be my friends anymore. If, let's say, for example, you give them a call to say, oh, I'm around, I'm in town today, can we meet up? It's either they give so many excuses. You go to church, wherever people are being delegated some duties, people are looking around each other to say, oh, please don't vote for her or don't delegate anything to her, because our section, we are going to lose anyway, because whatever she does, she loses. It's like it was meant to be. It's like it was meant to be for you to be in that situation. It's like you did that deliberate. It's like I did it myself to kill my own husband so that I'll be like what I am. So you can see where I'm coming from. It causes a lot of trauma in your life, because when you realize that this is what went on and you don't have any power to it, and people are associating you with cases, then I'm sorry, then you would feel that, you're not worthy at all. You begin to believe it yourself that, you know what, this has happened to me, this is going on like this, people don't like me, and all these things are happening. The minute you just go into a group of people, people are looking at each other to say, okay, what is she going to say? What is she going to do? What is going to happen? So you realize that you are an outcast, yes, because that's the way they made you believe. But it's you who has to change that situation. It's you who has to say that I don't want this anymore. I don't want this to stay like this anymore. I don't want people to see me like this anymore. I'm not like that. I am a Christian. I'm a child of God. I was born by God. I was put on this world by God. So why should I tolerate all this rubbish, all this garbage which is being thrown to me just because I've lost my husband? I'm not somebody who causes it, but I'm somebody who is hurt with the situation. So what do I do to change this? I had to be strong for myself. I had to rely on the Bible. I had to sit down and read and grasp and understand myself that this situation was never to be for me, and it was never to be a permanent situation where I was going to die in a miserable situation just because I don't know how to react when people do this to me. But then I'm just saying it to all other women there that it's not your portion. Don't let people let you down. Don't let people count you down. Don't let people stamp on your foot because you are what you are, because you have lost a husband, because something has happened to you, because you are powerless. You have got no means of taking yourself out from that situation. So you stay idle in that situation thinking, okay, nobody likes me, these things have happened, and you stay there for the rest of your life without changing it. You need to move on. I moved on because I realized that it was unhealthy for me. But how did I move on? Faith moved me on. I had to start believing in God that whatever situation I'm going through, I will come out of it. Whatever circumstances I've gone through, I will come out of it. Whatever I am facing, I will come out of it. Because if you say you can and you will, honestly, it will happen for you. I did that myself because sometimes it's no good to mourn all the time, to stay in the past, to stay in what people are saying and believing in you. Believe in yourself that you can change things. Believe in yourself that you can do it and you will do it. And that's exactly what I did. I sat down and realized that I cannot take this anymore. I need to rely on the Bible because I had acknowledged that people are perceiving me this way. So how do I change people's perception on me? I have to do it myself. I have to fight. I have to fight a good fight. I have to be strong. I have to come out and do it for myself so that I'll come out on the other end and not be feeling sad or feeling shame about my life. I had realized that this is my life now. I came to understand that this is how I'm being perceived. The only way to change is to pull up and be strong and start doing things for myself. As I go through these problems, I know it happens to anyone. I have embraced the situation. I have known that this is how it is. But then through the Bible, through understanding, through praying for them, I even pray for my enemies. I pray for those people who cast those bad things on me. I pray for whoever cursed me and say that, she cannot do it. She cannot be who she wants to be because of this. Now that I realize that there is life at the end of the tunnel, there is a way out. There is God. There are people who are happy to help me. I went through a lot of hard times, but I started reading things, going through things to support myself, to make sure that I was able to move away from that situation. I read books, I meet people. I started talking to different people in my situation, people who were in the same circumstances I am, people who were widowed, people who had no any other means. They had husbands, but their husbands were not helping. So I stood up and start commissioning for other women and putting the groups together and say, okay, let's see how we can work this out. Let's see how people cannot point at us and say, okay, that is the woman who has killed 2 men. That is the woman who is struggling with life. That is the poor woman who we can't associate with. I refuse to be in that situation. So anyone else in that situation right now, I ask them to refuse. I ask them to go upon their God and kneel down on their knees and start talking to God about their situation. Tell God what you want and what you don't want. Honestly, things will happen for you. Never you say that I'll stay in this situation. Your words are so powerful, whatever you do to your life. So I say this today for whoever is in this situation where I was before. You can do it. You can change it. Speak out and speak out about that situation. Tell yourself that you can do it and you can come out of it. Read the Bible. Find the guidance. Find people who can help you. Find people who can show you the way. Speak to people like us who have been there, who have experienced what you are experiencing. As a woman, you don't want to stay there and feel sorry for yourself. Honestly, if you want to stay like that, you will never change this situation. You can end up being sick or ill because of that problem. So what I say to women is stand up, be a fighter, and talk to yourself, talk to God, change your situation. You are the only person who can change yourself. You can speak to yourself all the positive thing and say you can. Whatever is put in front of you, say, yes, I can confront it. I can confront it. Whatever put in front of you, whether it's education, whether it's challenging, as much as challenging as it is, whether it is something that you think is impossible, there is nothing impossible in this world, except if you feel that you can't do it. And if you tell your inner self that you can't do it, you won't do it. Have faith, have trust, trust yourself, whatever you do. Oh, I'm sorry, Marina. I tend to carry on when this is the topic because this is the topic I like to speak about. Over to you, Marina. Just say hello to the audience. They might forget you are there.
Thank you so much, Jossine. I'm so impressed by your life mission, by the way you look at things and thinking everything that happened in the past and did not happen really to me, happened for me. So I could grow into the person who I am right now and helping other women to understand their true worth. And especially African women, which are so vibrant and wonderful and they are so gifted. And for some reason, the world forgets that is where everything started. And it was an African woman that created the world. From both of us, until next time, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.